Welcome back, everyone, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
Hey, you were off mic there for a second. Sorry, I caught you by surprise with the start of the episode.
I was stretching.
That was my fault. Do I do it again?
No.
Nah, we're good. Okay. We're back to talk more Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale talk. Season 4, Episode 3, The Crossing.
Oh, The Crossing.
Now, that's a reference to how the episode ends. Hopefully you've watched it by now if you're listening to us talk about it. Or maybe you just don't want to watch the show and you want to know what happens just through the convenience of podcasts that you can listen to while you're driving.
What was episode? Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, we had Pigs, then
Right.
Nightshade.
Nightshade, that's right.
Now it's The Crossing. Mm-hmm.
The Crossing. Attraversiamo.
So before we get to the juicy stuff, like June, there's just a little bit in Canada. Just a little bit. We get to catch up a little bit with Luke. He's struggling a little bit with life. He gets to find out that June has been captured. American intel figured that much out. And I think they even tell him she's probably not going to be okay.
Right. They're like, yeah, just forget about her.
Yeah. I can't remember if the lady said, like, she'll probably get executed, but
There's nothing we can do, she said.
yeah, it was basically she was tiptoeing around it just barely. But yeah, it was like
She's been captured and there's nothing we can do.
Yep. They have sources on the inside, but no one that can do that. So he's struggling with that. And we do see some of him like trying to be a good dad to the baby. What's her name? Hannah? No, that's the other baby. I don't remember the baby's name. It's not Nicole. It's...
Call her...
Angela? No.
Tammy.
Tammy? Tammy sounds good.
Okay.
Let's just call her Tammy until I figure that out. So he's trying to be good with Tammy, little Tammy. But I'd say he's showing some signs of attachment issues, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like he's a little bit resentful.
Resentful.
A little bit resentful.
Okay.
It seems. Because June went to save the world and left him and the baby and could have come home and been safe with them. And now he's stuck raising a baby that's not even his own. And June chose to stay there. Maybe he feels like she's staying because she's in love with Nick or something.
Yeah, which is possible. Maybe that's why she stayed. Not so much the fact that she's captured and being tortured now, but yeah,
right,
maybe.
Stayed.
Maybe.
And he's like, oh, I think he actually said she knew how this was going to end. Her being captured, basically. Or am I just making things up?
Well, no, I think that's not unreasonable. Someone was trying to be a good friend to him, but he's,
hurt.
He's not, he's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in him. He'll get through this.
He will.
At least he's not being raped.
Yeah.
And speaking of torture, let's just talk about June. I don't think we saw any Fred and Serena in this episode. Doesn't come to mind. I didn't have any notes on it. This is really June's episode. June is locked up. Aunt Lydia comes and talks to her a little bit. She's being as chipper as Aunt Lydia can be, I'd say. She needs the location of the other girls. We need to get those girls back, June. You led them astray. And June's not talking. So we get to meet a guy. I think they might have said he's a lieutenant. Maybe at one point. As far as I can tell, they never gave him a name. In the credits, according to IMDb, he is called Gilead Loyalist.
Nice.
They didn't even give him a name.
That's sad.
And I thought, as characters go, I felt like he was kind of amazing. So this actor, Reed Birney, B-I-R, he looks like a nice enough guy, an older gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes across so sweet.
He did a great job.
He's like, hi, June, nice to meet you. We're going to get through this together.
Yep.
Just need to talk to you. I just need to get some information. Then when she's like, nope, he's like, okay, and punches her right in the gut, just in the solar plexus, and then comes the waterboarding.
Yeah.
I got to get this off my chest.
He's not fucking around.
The waterboarding thing. So I'm watching. Now, we've heard of waterboarding plenty because of the whole black site torture shit that our government did and was responsible for during the last 20 years of war.
All governments.
Yeah, not Canada.
You don't know that. They might do some waterboarding.
Not Finland, damn it. Not Finland. Give me that one.
Whatever.
Give me Finland. Yeah, fine. Probably a lot of governments do it, but it was famous that our government was doing a lot of torture, including waterboarding. That's how it became a household word, right? We all learned about waterboarding on the news over the last many years. I don't think so. I'm not saying they didn't do it, but
pretty sure it was in a film.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Like Apocalypse Now or something.
Oh, yeah, I've honestly never seen it. Sad to say. I know it's a famous, great movie, but no, I've never seen it. Look, maybe. I don't know. But it became popularized in our lifetimes. You know, we weren't exactly Vietnam kids during all this Iraq and Afghanistan stuff, right?
Right. Cuba.
And then, I mean, I remember seeing like a couple news reporters would like get themselves waterboarded on camera so you could see like how much they freak out while feel like they're drowning. You put this cloth over your face, and then people pour water on your face, and then you just can't breathe. But it wasn't until I was watching it would happen to June where I'm like, oh my God, I know what this feels like, in a very minor way.
Yes, I'm sure it's not the same.
It's not the same, but so John, my boy, Jonathan, he and I have been taking Taekwondo class for a couple of years. You used to take Taekwondo with us. And I'm not saying you would definitely still be doing it if it wasn't for COVID, but that was part of why you stopped going. Because you were having a hard time wearing the mask and exercising.
I can't breathe with it. I would feel like I was suffocating.
Well, okay, so that's where I'm at. Would you get really sweaty during class?
No.
Because I think for me, it's the sweat. So it was just the thickness of the mask.
My hair would sweat. But...
Well, you have a hard time breathing, like when we're doing 20 seconds of silence before the show, as we talked about a couple weeks ago.
I think I might have asthma. I've never been checked. I think I might have asthma.
Maybe you should check. I don't have asthma. But something about some of the masks I wear, I was noticing in class, like as we're doing warm-ups and stuff, and I would be starting to get sweaty. There's this point in almost every class where I start to panic. Oh. Like I'm breathing a lot. And I feel like there is some airflow between me and the mask and the outside world, but something's not right. And since it's me getting sweaty with a piece of cloth on my face, and I get pretty sweaty during these classes, I think I'm waterboarding myself. I honestly do, because I can put the mask on and breathe fine for an unlimited amount of time. It's just as soon as I start getting sweaty, all of a sudden there's no oxygen coming in. And I feel this deep panic in my soul. Like I'm breathing so much, but something's wrong. And I have to get this mask off my face right now, or I'm going to pass out or die.
I remember I used to run outside.
Kinda. But I thought it might be the same thing, but you just said you weren't getting sweaty. So I feel like that was a different reaction to the mask.
No, I just feel like I couldn't get enough air in.
Yeah. Well, similar. I guess it's the same, but I think mine's specifically from sweat. Like sweat-induced waterboarding.
Well, it's a good thing we got those little things, the cups.
Yeah, I'll try that next week. The thing that pushes your mask out from your face. I'll try it. I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, this is not a good feeling. And that is the most minor self-waterboarding you could do. It's not a bucket of water on my face. Yeah. It's just some moisture on the cloth that's on my face. And I have to like run to a corner of the dojo and like lift my mask up and take a breath. Not good. And then something changes over the course of the next few minutes and it gets better and then I can breathe even though my mask is like sopping wet. But it happens. Weird. It happens during class and it fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And to think about that happening on a larger scale where you're being restrained and can't pull the cloth off your face in a panic. That is terrifying. Because it's not even like you can know that they're not going to kill you. It doesn't matter because you're not getting enough oxygen and you, what is it? Like reflexively panic. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Just understanding that now of like, you can't control the feeling even if you know what's going on. That's what made it really upsetting. That's why I think
it would be the hardest way to kill yourself is drowning yourself.
I hate to say it.
Reflexively would be like I would swim up.
I hate to say it, but I've kind of heard the opposite.
Really?
Like you panic for just like, for a very short amount of time. and then something takes over as the water fills your lungs and you feel very peaceful.
What?
I've heard that. If I think
Who did you hear that from?
I don't remember.
How do you know? You're dead. How do these people
no,
find
because
this
then
out?
you get rescued. That's just what I remember hearing that somewhere. I think even a couple times, but I don't know where.
This does not sound right.
We can research it later, I
Okay.
guess. But that was just my little aside about waterboarding, because I really felt like I know it's a very low level, not the same thing that torture victims go through, but I just suddenly felt like I could relate to that in a really weird way, and it's such a bad feeling. Mm-hmm. But also now I kind of understand myself better. So thank you. I'll give Hulu a thank you. I'm still kind of mad at them for putting out too many episodes at once. But thank you, Hulu. Okay, we're done with that. All right, so June gets waterboarded. She has a moment with Lydia where they get a little heart-to-heart, and June lays into her. I think you wanted to talk about this a couple episodes ago. Or something. Was that a couple episodes ago? Yeah, it was. Because, anyway, go on.
Lydia is saying it's your fault, and then June's like, no, it's your fault. You failed all of these girls.
Mm-hmm. You told us if we behaved, we'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, just not okay. No one's okay.
Mm-hmm. And that Lydia slapped her.
Did she slap her in that scene?
I think so.
I don't have a note on that, but you might be right. Lydia was not. Lydia looked rattled.
You dirty little whatever she called her. I don't remember.
I feel like there was still a moment and it's all face acting on her part.
She's great.
Maybe I should find out what her name is, because she is
She
really
said
great.
her name this morning on that ad. This is so-and-so from Hulu.
Ann Dowd.
Ann Dowd.
I mean, the face acting there again, I feel like June shook her up.
She could do a good book reading.
I'm in. Maybe she could do the Handmaid's Tale. That'd be cool. Do a little Audible on that.
Yeah.
You could use a new edition, I bet. It was probably recorded 20 years ago.
Yes, we should at her.
If she's on social media. Mm-hmm. Get on that. Yeah, so again, I'm sort of thinking, could Lydia be turned? Definitely not in this episode. But
then I started thinking maybe this is just for looks.
Like maybe she's trying to look rattled so she can
maybe there's cameras in there.
Go around June.
Maybe she has to put on an act. I still was hoping. I was like,
oh, the part about like she didn't say, you're right, I see the error of my ways. You think maybe she's doing that because people are watching her.
Right.
But somewhere inside her heart, she's realizing.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Could be.
Serena's figuring it out. Maybe Aunt
Is
Lydia
she?
can too. Kinda.
Mm.
Well, she started figuring it out. She's been back and forth a lot.
She was figuring
She was figuring it out, and then she's like, "Oh, but if I shut up, I can have this baby." And then she couldn't have the baby, and then she tries to get, and then it's the whole campaign to get the baby back, and then she's acting like a shithead again.
Yeah, and now she's pregnant. So she's turned back into praise Gilead. This is a miracle of miracles.
Did she?
Yes.
I don't know if we get that from her. Not yet.
Not
anyway.
yet.
We'll see how things go. Again, like I said last episode, she should get a different message from that, which is we left Gilead and now I'm pregnant. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so June's about to have her fingernails ripped out by the nice guy.
Right. And at this point, she's like...
That's...
Yeah.
Jesus.
It doesn't seem like it would, like...
I think it hurts.
Would your whole nail come off?
Yeah, they pliers it and pull it out. So
but
your whole, like anything under the skin will come out too. So I don't know if it can grow back or not, but it's going to be gone for a long time.
I just can't imagine how they would get a good hold on there. I mean, if your nails are long, sure.
She had just, like, they wouldn't be able to do it to me probably, because
you'd pinch your fingertips off.
I bite my nails a little bit, but June had enough where they could get the pliers on there. They were going to be able to do it. This guy knows what he's doing. And June didn't want that to happen, nor did anyone else. So she gives them false information. The true lesson from torture programs.
Yeah.
You're going to get false information.
Right.
You're just going to. But it stops the torture for the moment. So, yeah. And then, wait, listen, everybody. Do you hear that? That's the sound of the Dog of Thrones. Oh, now that we're not talking so loud, she's like fluttering her eyes. She's waking up by our silence. We bore her with our talk.
Oh, there she goes. She's back again. Back to snoring again.
If we're droning on about TV shows, she knows everything's okay.
Maybe we're boring.
Are we boring? Are you a dog? Write us. So anyway. So she gave them bad information. Now they're going to up their game. They take her up to a rooftop in the rain. And they've got two, I had to look this up because they might have said it in the show, but I don't know. But it's Beth and Sienna, two former Marthas who have also been taken in. I guess a lot of Marthas probably got arrested once they started to figure things out. So they're up on the rooftop and they're like, June, and she's like, you guys. And one of them gets pushed off the roof right away. The other one has a moment.
And she looks like the actress from, and no, it's not.
Okay.
I was going to say the actress from Walking Dead, but it's not. Or Fear the
Dead. Okay. Well, I'm not.
What's his name's in love with?
The one that's pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Cancer lady.
Yep. I don't.
It's not her, right?
No.
Okay.
And she gets pushed off the roof too. So now June's again like shaking with stress and pent up rage and all that. And they put her in a box. And she sings Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle, circa 1993.
I cannot imagine that was comfortable.
No, I'm sure that's how the box was designed, to make you be uncomfortable all night. So she sings Heaven is a Place on Earth to herself, and then she gets out in the morning and they clean her up.
You think that was the morning? I thought that was days later.
Oh, well, that's a good question. I don't know. The only thing that would make me think it was only the next morning is that they really need this information as soon as possible because the handmaids could move again. Otherwise, I'd say, yeah, you could keep someone in that box for a few days easily, if you're torturing them. Mm-hmm. So they pull her out, they clean her up, and then they sit her down for a lovely spread of food with Commander Lawrence.
So strange.
Huzzah! Everything's going to be okay. Commander Lawrence is here and he's going to help.
She's probably thinking, is this like a dream? Am I asleep right now?
How is this guy not dead? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, he is a white man.
And we're in this weird room, a long ass table.
Way too long of a table.
Yeah.
That, I think, was bad strategy on Commander Lawrence's part.
Yeah,
if you want to get June to
close,
talk.
right. She needs to think that he's on her side.
Right. He needs to be able to look her right in the eyes. They're like 20 feet away from each other. You can't see.
Maybe that was the rules. So they couldn't.
That is totally fair, possibly true, but still tactically not smart. If you only put Lawrence out there because you know that they're tight. But how can they possibly have a good conversation in an echoey room? Like, it's just, yeah. But he tries to get the information out of her, and she says no. And then he gives her the big warning. Oh, he tells her about Jezebel's. Sorry. We find out she managed to kill 6 commanders and 9 are still hospitalized. So that was kind of awesome. But then he tells her the big truth, which is they will hurt Hannah.
Right.
And that's the one thing. They could have just started with that, I guess. But generally speaking, torture produces bad results because hurting someone doesn't make them want to tell you the truth. But if you can find the right leverage, don't want your little girl to get hurt. You can let somewhat random strangers, almost strangers, get pushed off a building. But it's your daughter.
Right.
Yep. The one person in this entire stupid, godless country that you actually love. And she says, nope, I'm good. So they take her away. She doesn't even get to finish her meal. And then they bring her to a big room with a big glass box inside. It kind of looked like the Harley Quinn prison cell from the first Suicide Squad movie. Probably the same box.
It probably is.
How many of those could you have in Hollywood? It takes up a lot of space. Anyway, Hannah's in a big glass box, and this works. Ta-da. The nice guy comes in and says, please tell us where the girls are.
Right.
Just
Hannah's afraid of her.
Oh, yeah. Hannah's afraid of June. Not a good reaction.
Well, I mean, June literally looks like something from The Exorcist right now.
She's a little beaten up.
She's got stringy green-gray hair. She's just looks like she's been awake for a year.
She is coming off a bad night or two of sleep. That's true. Yeah. Fair enough.
She looks awful. Scary.
But she loves her daughter. It's the one thing she's got. So she gives up the location, the real location of the girls. And that's over. June wants to die now. Please execute me. Aunt Lydia says, no. Oh, I wish I could do her voice. Can you do an Aunt Lydia voice?
No.
Oh, no, dear. No, we're going to treat you properly. We're going to clean you all up. We need handmaids so badly right now. Is that a good Aunt Lydia?
We're going to send you to the colonies.
Round your mouth a little bit more.
We're going to send you to the colonies.
At the end there, that was pretty good. But not the colonies, which is what it sounded like at first, because they're like, we still need handmaids, so you're going to the colonies to work, which is not where you want people that are fertile.
Yeah.
But it's actually a different kind of colony where they're going to work a bunch of fields all day and then get fucked once a month. A breeding colony. A breeding colony. Mm. It does sound maybe better than working in like the house and being abused every day, but then you probably still have guardians there beating you up if you don't work hard enough. I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, maybe we know. Well, maybe we'll see. Wink, wink.
I mean, at some point, we're probably going to see the colonies.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
So June gets cleaned up and put back in her red clothes, and she's going to a drop-off point where they're going to take her to this breeding colony, and somehow the transpo department includes Nick. How is that not suspicious to anybody at this point?
He's a general or whatever, and he's made this whole, he's probably in charge of this. But he's only taking June to the drop-off point? I don't know. I'm just... Look, you were mad at this scene too, because they stop the van, and then June and Nick get out of the car, and he tells the guardians to hang back. He's got this one. And they walk 100 feet away from the guys, but you can still see them in the distance, and they start making out. Right.
You were mad. You were yelling at the TV.
I was like, they see you. There's people on both sides that can literally see you.
Right, yeah. On the other side of the bridge is Aunt Lydia with another van. The red van.
Yeah.
It was a little stupid. So they have...
But that's how they are. They make out anywhere and everywhere. No matter who's around the corner.
Mm-hmm. They took a lot of risks. But this one wasn't even a risk. It was just...
Does she love Nick more than she loves Luke?
She hasn't seen Luke in a number of years at this point.
I know.
But
sure. Nick has zero emotion.
Yeah, it's hard to understand why she would love Nick except for the bonding of having gone through this together.
The sex.
And he's never beaten her up. And he's tried to help her a lot, but yeah, in terms of
some kind of emotional
general affect, he's got very little.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's cute. Maybe he's good in bed.
Maybe. I mean,
what?
Just going back to season 1, it would seem that at the very least, he's got a decent dick. It doesn't have to be huge, just a nice shape. And because he was just lying there, but she was riding him to Come Town a few times. Remember she decided to take control over her body again, and she went up to his thing at night, his garage, and just rode his dick hard and came. We saw her coming on screen. So he's got a decent dick.
There was that.
Yep.
Look,
you gotta...
I'm glad you painted such a vivid picture.
Well, you're the one that asked if she would love him more than Luke, and I don't know that we can answer that question, but I am saying, or how she could love him at all, because he's so blah. But in a world where almost everybody's a monster, you got a guy that's not an abuser, wants to help, and he's got a decent dick.
I mean, he's the one. Clearly,
he's the one. He's the best of the worst. Yeah, easily.
Yeah. All right.
And from what we know about Nick, he was part of the revolution that started all this. He was not just a driver. He was in the eyes from moment one. And somehow Fred didn't know that, which is actually kind of weird. But he was part of this. So he's not an angel. But,
well, yeah, but he didn't have a choice.
Well, he did at the very beginning. He was just jobless. And the guy was like, you can make some money working for me. Come to my fundamentalist meeting.
Yeah. So I think he just fell into it.
Yeah. A little bit of a culty thing. Just went along for the ride. Probably never thought it would work. which I wouldn't blame him for. Okay, so they're back with Lydia. 6 girls in a van with Aunt Lydia, and one guy driving them across the country.
Mm-hmm. They're in like a milk van.
No.
An ambulance van.
The ambulance, like the handmade.
Well, right. It's like the hand van.
Handbulance.
The hand van.
Okay. Which one's better, hand van or ambulance? I'll give you yours. Hand van. They're in the hand van. And they're approaching a railroad track, and the thing comes down, even though the train's like a mile away or more.
That happens.
It happens. So the Guardian's like, I got to take a whiz. And he goes somewhere, apparently
I think he
really far
had
away.
To take a shit.
Oh, he was shitting. Yeah, no, okay. I think you're right. Because nothing else would explain how much time they had, right?
Did he? I think he said, I have to use the facilities. So he could be doing whatever. He could be jacking off.
Jacking off into a wheat field.
Maybe he found a
gets
sheep.
Turned on by scarecrows. So he's gone. And this was their moment. June tackles Aunt Lydia and almost thinks about killing her with her own cattle prod.
Yeah.
Didn't take the cattle prod, which she definitely should have. Take the fucking cattle prod.
Take the weapons.
Mm-hmm. But they don't. And all the girls make a run for it.
Or just drive off in the van.
Oh, yeah.
You could drive
just get in the driver's seat.
to the right.
Well, if you left the key.
Run over Lydia.
That would have been a fun way for her to go too, though maybe not as long and drawn out.
The guys come in with the gun.
Well, the guys come with a gun, so they're panicked. They run for it. This wasn't a well orchestrated plan. They just kind of June went for it, and everyone else went along with it. Which again, June gets a lot of people killed.
She sure does, but somebody's got to do something. Otherwise, nobody would do nothing. That's
also a fair argument. So all the girls run, and the 2 girls in the back get shot. We still don't necessarily know their names.
I thought one of them got hit by the train.
Well, 2 girls get shot as they're running, and they go down. And we have June and Janine in front. They get over the train tracks, and then Brianna and the other one, Alma. Brianna and Alma, they get hit by a train. The train as it starts to go past. So they don't make it for sure. The other 2 could be alive. They got shot in the back. I mean, June got shot, so whatever. They could maybe get those. Maybe we'll see them again someday. But they didn't even tell us their names, I don't think, until the very end. So June and Janine make it out. Janine's pretty upset, but they just keep running or whatever because the train's really long, so whatever.
Yeah.
They get out. And then at the very end of the episode, we have a flashback to the Red Center when they're all in training. And we see Moira, we see all the girls. I think Janine maybe had just lost her eye. Maybe. And they're all like whispering in the dark and holding hands.
Mm-hmm. And introducing themselves, like they're saying their names. Okay.
And that, yeah, because then we hear each one of their names. I thought it was June, like, remembering them, but maybe it was them saying it. But at that point, all the people we knew, and then also 2 named Sarah and Ellie. So that might be the 2 girls that just got shot. Probably is. But we really didn't know anything about them. That's all I've got for that. So, yeah. How do you feel? Frustrated? I was a little frustrated.
This show is always frustrating.
June got away, but there's 4 more bodies. And they didn't kill Aunt Lydia.
I mean, they knew what they were getting themselves into. Right?
Who?
All of the girls. They could have stayed. They had a choice.
Oh, going to the breeding colony?
No. To follow June.
In the first place?
Ever.
Oh, out of the van? Anywhere.
The rock, from the moment the rocks were dropped.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, you're going way back.
They had a choice.
So is Aunt Lydia right? Are you taking Aunt Lydia's side on this? June's the instigator?
She sure is. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but she's the one that's, I think everybody else would have remained the way they were. I mean,
yeah.
Eye Patch would probably gone crazy anyway, you know.
Well, she went crazy.
Right. She probably would have died in the colonies. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember
Oh,
what
yeah,
happened.
she did wind up in the colonies very briefly, but then they brought her back because they needed handmaids after the Red Center blew up.
Oh, that's right, the Red Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take them away.
The Red
bring 'em
Center,
back,
that's
take
what
'em
they
away.
were the instigators. The Mayday.
Well, sure. What?
Mayday.
Oh, you talking about that bombing was the instigation?
Right. Whoever started telling June.
Oh, God. Was that Alma? It was either Alma or Emily.
I think it was Emily.
It's one of those two. Yeah.
Emily's responsible. It's her fault.
Or Alma. It might have been Alma back in season 1 that told her that there was a network. One of those two, though. Yeah. Okay, so that rounds out episode 3. Do you want to do another double episode?
Sure,
or,
let's get it done. Wait.
I mean, we could split them up, but
Yeah.
if we do this as another double, then we'll be current as long as Hulu does not put out any more 2-episode weeks. That kind of bullshit. Okay, then pause your episode if you are not current on the show and you've only watched episode 3, because now we're going to talk about Handmaid's Tale, season 4, episode 4, Milk.
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 Milk. That is the strangest word.
Do tell.
Milk. Let's go drink
Just-
some milk.
I want you to keep saying milk until you are satisfied.
Milk.
Uh-huh.
Milk. Okay. I'm good.
Okay. So, where do we begin? I'm just looking through notes here. Was there anything outside of June and Janine? We had the Janine flashback, but maybe we should cover that in real time. There was,
Yeah. Did it start with Janine's flashback? I think it started with Janine's flashback.
No, I think we started right after the train, but let's talk a little bit about Canada first.
Okay.
Because that's not the juicy stuff in the episode. Up in Canada, we got a couple things going on. Damn it, I don't remember what episode it was. It's missing from my notes. But there was some stuff with Moira having a girlfriend of sorts. Like, it seemed like it was kind of a new relationship.
It was right after she got there.
And they, like, sat on a doorstep on one episode and had Thai food or something. And that was nice. But
Right. She was a doctor.
And Emily is, like, happy for Moira, but Emily's also really fucked up because she used to be married. And
she feels very strange now. Like, she's just not herself.
Right.
People have changed. It's like a new...
Well, people have changed, but so has Emily. She
very much changed. She has no clit.
She's been surgically changed. Yeah. That sucks. So I imagine that Emily feels like she'll never be able to love or be loved again, like that kind of thing. But I do wonder again about, like, Moira's kind of in a relationship, but then that lady, like, travels a lot or whatever, but they're kind of cute. But then there's also Rita that we thought maybe Moira and Rita might have a little something.
Maybe.
But we don't get there yet. I just want to keep floating that out there because we did talk about it once.
I think it's going to happen.
You think it's going to happen? Well, there you go. I
And
hope so.
Rita's going to blossom.
Rita'll be good. I like her. She's gonna be a
Or she might die.
fully formed person.
She might sacrifice herself.
No, I think she's past that.
No, I mean, like, and if it comes to a fight and she has to save somebody, I think she would do that.
Rita? Well, sure, but that would involve Canada getting invaded, wouldn't it?
Who knows?
I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. Doesn't seem like
Who
that
knows
would
what's going to happen?
All right, but anyway. So Moira comes to Rita to say, hey, Serena wants to talk to you. And Rita's like, what the fuck? As well you would be.
Yep.
And Serena's all like, I'm so happy. I'm having a baby.
I'm so blessed.
God
It's a
has truly
miracle.
blessed us. And Rita's like trying to be happy for her and stuff. But,
Pray with me.
oh, and she says, I'm not telling Fred. He doesn't deserve to know.
Right.
Like, that I'm having a baby. Fuck
Right.
Fred. But she wants Rita to help raise the boy.
Yeah.
To be the nanny.
Uh-huh.
So for as much as we think Serena's on this big redemption arc,
She has no clue.
right, she has not yet figured out that not just the handmaids, not just the wives, every woman was being abused in fucking Gilead.
Right.
She doesn't get it. You made her a Martha. She was probably not paid.
Serving you.
Yeah.
Cleaning your house. Cleaning the shit off your toilet.
Definitely slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rita's like, I think she was like, let me think about it. But then I think she's just going to ghost Serena at this point.
I think for a moment she felt obligated to do it. You know, like she got that feeling. You could see in her face like she was going back into like that servitude feeling.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that on her face. That's true.
And then to pray with her, I would have been like, fuck you.
Well, but Rita somehow has not lost her faith.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's one of those things I don't quite get, is like,
she still believes in like Gilead's God.
Not Gilead's way of doing things maybe, but the same God that Gilead made everybody believe in, even if they didn't want to. It was believe in this God or we'll hang you from the wall.
It's not that she believes in because it is the same God or whatever, but she's still following those practices of Gilead. Like you can believe in God and it can be the same God, but you don't have to follow these fucked up weird ass practices. I guess all she did was pray.
Just keep working this out.
I don't know. It just seems weird because, like, they're praying for Gilead, like they're saying those words. I didn't say Gilead, but they're using like their prayers. Yeah,
I guess. She still uses a lot of the Gileadish phrases to like bless people's days. Yeah. She also has a little bit with that Mark Tuello guy. Where we find out that Serena is hoping that Rita will testify on Serena's behalf.
Right.
That whatever it was that Serena did to June.
Because he handed her a big old file.
Yeah. And it was like, you know, Serena was only being an asshole because she was under duress. And Rita's like, nope, I was a slave. The Waterfords owned me. So I'm not going to help with Serena's defense. And yeah, that's just not going to be okay. But she does go to meet Fred. And she gives him the picture.
Right. His baby.
Yep.
He's going to have a baby.
And then finally we see her eating some sushi alone in her apartment.
And she's so happy. She smiles for the first time ever.
Eating sushi is a normal thing. You can't get sushi in Gilead. She probably really liked sushi in the before times. She seems like she would have been cool like that. She would go to like a sushi bar with friends after work and drink a couple sakis and have some rolls.
Really?
Rita? Sure. I bet Rita used to be a lot of fun at a small gathering. Not like a big party girl. I bet she could own a room. I bet she was very funny. This is how I picture Rita. Very funny, good sense of humor, could entertain people, great conversationalist, but then they broke her.
I don't know. I don't picture it.
She'd like serve wine and cheese to her friends if they came over to her apartment.
I feel like she's more like Aunt Lydia.
No. Just like a loner?
Yeah.
No. I think Rita used to be awesome. I mean, she still is, but she's getting better.
Maybe we'll have a flashback.
I hope so. I would love her backstory. Okay, so let's talk about June and Janine. Here we go. So Janine's freaking out, but June gets her to control herself for the moment. They'll mourn the girls when they can. But they're going to follow the railroad tracks. Seems like a bad idea to me, but what do I know? It just seems like the most conspicuous place to be. I don't know. Like you could easily spot someone walking along the railroad tracks.
Right.
From any
Stay
drone.
in the woods.
Any drone, any airplane, like, yeah. Stay in the fields, right?
Thicket.
Yeah. But they don't. They follow the train tracks and they wind up.
Take off your fucking white hat.
and
red
the red
cape.
Well,
but you pointed out that they have white bloomers on, so I get that.
Yeah.
They should just take all of their clothes off.
That would be fun. That would really put a new spin on the show. Just naked June and Janine running around.
Yeah.
Mostly Janine. She's a cutie pie.
Yeah.
So they make it to like a war encampment or a war prep zone. So they're loading up all these trains with probably troops as well as munitions and supplies. And then they see a tanker truck and just decide to jump right in, not thinking about the fact that could be gasoline, but instead it's milk. So they lucked out.
Smell gas.
True.
If that was gasoline,
True.
if it was anything toxic, you'd be able to smell it.
Before
unless
jumping
it's like
in, yeah. All right. I'll give you
scent-free.
that. I'll give. I will agree with that. That's true. But they didn't know what they were getting into, and it turns out it's ice cold milk.
Yeah, milk.
Milk. Was that a good reason to name the episode Milk?
Yes.
Like, it wasn't a major plot point. They got rid of
They
the
were
milk.
in milk almost the whole episode.
Well, they found
Not really.
when the train got moving, they found a drain. So they were in like
Finally, though, they were like gonna drown in milk.
yeah, and they were still risking hypothermia from the refrigerated aspect of the truck. But
You would think that the truck driver would like notice his tank got light.
oh well, no, because it wasn't a truck; it was a train. It was a train
that's
car.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. You otherwise absolutely be like, boy, my gas pedal's working a lot better than I thought it would with 1,000,
I can make
like
it up this
100,000
hill.
gallons of milk in my, yeah, but not so much. So Janine's wondering what the plan is. June's like, I don't know, but we're gonna be close to Chicago, so if we could just sneak our way out of the tanker, we'll make it to real America
Yeah.
in Chicago.
Janine is not happy.
Right. And they also talk about the fact that June's the reason that they're in this mess because she explains the whole Hannah thing.
Yeah. And then Janine's like, okay.
Well, Janine was like, I don't think I would have given up the girls.
Even if it was her own kid.
I think that's what she said. Yeah.
If she was going to get her own child murdered. Or
Tortured. Yeah. And then we get the flashback to Janine, which you mentioned a couple episodes ago because you forgot. You thought it was a different show. It was so disparate from the Janine.
I know I saw like a Netflix or a Hulu snapshot of a show that she's in. But, right.
I'm not saying you didn't. I just thought it was
her
adorable.
going to the horrible abortion clinic.
Yeah,
that wasn't an abortion clinic, and them trying to.
Those are real things. Crisis pregnancy centers. Google that shit, people. That is a real world thing. You trick people into thinking that they're coming to like a Planned Parenthood kind of situation to consult on an abortion because
they're going to consult with you.
They will consult with you on the evils of abortion,
right? And
try to talk you out of it, and try to guilt you, like horrify you with all the awful anti-abortion propaganda.
I thought they were going to like lock her up. Lock her up.
Yeah, it felt like that was almost an option just because of what we know about Gilead, but the world hadn't gone that bad yet. It would get there. Mm-hmm. But that's, you know what though? That's how Janine wound up on a list.
Fertile.
Right. That is a person that's in the what was it called? The Crisis Pregnancy Center system.
Yep.
And they're run by extremist religious zealots. It all makes perfect sense.
It does.
Yep.
She can't be a wife because she got an abortion. She's low life, single mom.
Well, and she's, slept around.
Right.
Clearly. Yeah.
And she has this cute little boy.
Named Caleb.
We finally get to meet Caleb. She talks about him before.
Do we know what happened to him?
June lied and told her that he went to California. I don't know what really happened.
Oh.
Did he die?
Something did happen to him, but they didn't want Janine to know.
He got hit by a car or something.
That rings a bell.
She told him that he moved to California.
I'm looking it up as we talk. Yes, in season 3, we found out that he died 4 years earlier. But June finds that out when reading through files. But June lies to Janine to keep her stable and says he's in California.
Yeah.
He's somewhere out. He made it, which would be making it out of Gilead. I think most of California is okay.
Oh, I thought California was taken. I thought she was saying that his new parents had taken him there.
I can pull up a map of Gilead. I think California is kind of a mix. Oh, look, map of Gilead is in my Google search history. Here we go. Half of California is under conflict. And
is it the ocean side that's not?
Well, it's like the whole southern half of California is under conflict, and then northern California is rebel occupied, and then the rest of the Pacific Northwest, like the corner where all the coast parts are and the borders of Canada, that's all still considered America. But yes, California. Well, so yeah, California, I guess is America, but they're at war. It's not pretty there. But technically, Caleb is safe-ish. So that's what Janine's been holding on to. That's been keeping her going, is that she'll be able to see her son again someday.
Oh,
fucking June. Oh, Janine. That's fucking June. June lied to her. There's going to be a reckoning for that.
Would you have told her the truth? She would have gone nuts.
I would have just said, like, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Right? Can't you
but I don't know. She thinks he's happy and she never has to address it again.
Well, she thought she would never have to address it again, but if they escape to Chicago, let's say, and there's any kind of communication between the different conflict zones, this could come up again still within this season, even if they don't make it to Cal. Yeah, I think so. I think Janine's going to lose her mind. Oh, she's probably going to kill herself. Damn it. I like her. She's my favorite. Anyway, so we meet Caleb, and then Janine finds a real abortion doctor, and she gets some abortion pills, and it's a nice interaction, you know?
Yes, the doctor's
respectful.
Decent.
Yeah. Yep. So there's all that. And then we're back in the milk truck, or compartment, whatever. And the train stops and is attacked. We hear gunfire, shouting, probably a couple explosions. So shit goes down, and the train is taken, which is cool. But the rebels are in a hurry. They can't stay for long because there will probably be air support coming any second now.
Banditos.
Yes. Must be Mayday. Who else would do something like this? So they get out. Janine has to be coaxed up. I will say, June, all that physical training you've been doing, impressive. The way she pulled herself up out of that milk container. She's strong. I don't think I could do that. No. I could not.
I could never do that.
I've never done a real pull-up in my life. I should really work on my upper body strength.
Yeah.
That would be good for me.
I should too.
Don't sound so excited about me saying that.
Ooh, yeah. You could get like all
pecked out.
Henry Cavill.
Okay. I see where this is going.
You could get that going on.
If I get in Henry,
got that going on.
Look, I can't get in Henry Cavill shape because I'm like twice his age.
You could.
If I can get close to Henry Cavill shape, then you'll buy me a badass top of the line Witcher costume.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the deal.
Okay.
I'll start working on this. You're squirming a little bit. What's happening?
I'm so excited.
All right. I'm excited too. I have a lot of work to do though. A lot of work.
I could do sit-ups.
Congratulations. So can I. I've done sit-ups before, just not pull-ups.
We have a pull-up bar now. I'd probably rip the wall down.
Yeah, I don't think I can use something like that. I need an installation. I need like girders and rebar and shit to hold me up, not a door frame. Anyway, so they get out of the milk car. I'm sorry I said anything about the pull-ups now. Now I have to turn into Henry Cavill. And it's people that are willing to talk and like, who the hell are you? That kind of thing. And they figure out it's handmaids, sex slaves. These are damaged, broken women. And like one lady wants to leave them behind, but then there's this one guy, Steven, who,
good old Steven.
He agrees to let them come back with them. But it's not the, I guess, very moral and high-minded Mayday. They have just found their way to a bunch of rebel outcasts who are just trying to survive.
Right. Mm-hmm. Nothing's for free.
Everything seems great for a second. We're going to get you some food and clothes. But hey, one of you's got to spend the night with me. It's very Negan.
Very Negan.
I'm not going to rape you.
Negan's also in a new show. Movie.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Okay. Jeffrey D. Morgan
out right now
has a new movie. Okay.
It's called, I don't know.
It's called Finger Snaps.
Yeah.
Starring Jeffrey D. Morgan. What were we talking about? Oh, well, but
Separation.
Okay.
No. That's the other scary one. Damn it.
But the Negan from Walking Dead thing, he had like 4 or 5 wives. And he does not believe in rape, and he will kill anyone that rapes anyone. These women sleep with him consensually, says Negan. But in reality, it's like, oh, well, if you want your insulin, I can help you out, but I really want another wife.
I need another blowjob person.
You want your husband not murdered? Well, I'm lonely. I need a Tuesday wife.
How could he be like that?
Well, I don't know.
We
got his backstory, and he was such a good dude, but he got broken too.
Well, he wasn't good, but he got good.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was bad and then good, and then became bad again. Mm-hmm. All true. Anyway, so it's very much like that. Like, I'm not going to force you to have sex with me. You used to be a sex slave, and that's wrong. But it's also the only thing you're good for, because I'm a piece of shit anyway. Like, that's Steven's whole thing.
Right, and June said, we will do anything you tell us. She already put it out there.
Well, did she? She didn't mean sex. She thought these guys were good people.
That's what... Yes.
She could have been like, we're also literate and stuff. We don't actually know what Janine's skills are.
She should have said, except sex.
Yeah, she probably should have said that. But Steven just wanted sex, and there was another
He wanted, like, blowjob.
It was a PTSD moment, and...
The whole list, like, you had to listen to his belt.
It
gave me, like...
There's the sexual abuse aspect of it, but then whenever these kind of things happen in shows like Game of Thrones, whether it's Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, this show, any of these post-apocalyptic or medieval kind of situations, I just think that oral sex must be one of the worst things you can do. Like just a nightmare situation, right? I mean, everyone's going to be stinky and smegma-y.
Ew.
Gross.
Maybe not. That guy looked clean. He had clean hair.
Well, do they have running water even? Like, they're fighting over, like, who gets a scrap of bread.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But that upsets me almost as much as the fact that he's sexually assaulting her. Like, it's going to be just gross on every level.
Yeah.
Anyway, so June can't go through with it, so they're going to have to leave, and Janine's like, oh, but I like it here, or something. And we don't really see a lot of what happens next, but Janine sleeps with him.
Yeah, Janine saves the day.
Yep, they get to stay.
And she's all happy now. She feels useful.
That was the interesting thing to me, was that Janine had a smile on her face, because I think she just figured she finally saved June.
Yeah.
Or saved...
She did something good.
Both of them. She saved herself and June. Right. She was the hero.
Yep. But also, maybe she liked it.
It's
she
okay.
said it wasn't so bad.
That's true.
The guy was attractive. It was kind of like not the same thing as being held down by another woman and raped at the end of the bed in the commander's... Maybe it was good for her.
We are enlightened enough people to know that there is nothing wrong with a woman who enjoys casual sex. You're not a slut or a whore or whatever just because you like dick.
And he liked her eye patch.
He thought her eye patch was cool, which I also do. I agree. It's kind of a good look for her. It's just unfortunate that it was part of a deal.
Right.
I mean, at that point, it's, well, okay, wait. How enlightened are we? Right? Because he didn't force her to have sex. He was making a trade. Food and clothes in exchange for sex, which is prostitution, not rape. It's coercion, but it's still not exactly rape.
It's not okay. You should just be nice.
Look, well, yeah, you should.
And then proposition.
But
it's not a condition that you stay here. You do you make your own way and you put in the work like everybody else. You don't have to have sex with me, but if you want to, I'm open.
Right. He could have waited a day or two and just been nice and tried to slide into her DMs.
Totally.
Like, he could have done that.
Her DMs?
Direct messages and like a Twitter thing. But although that usually ends up with unsolicited dick pics, so I hear. Boy, do I see people posting about that all the time. Anyway, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, but like, okay, so like, he's a bad person for sort of turning it into a prostitution situation, I think. But she's certainly, like, if she's like, okay, well, I can just use my body to get some stuff I need, that's prostitution on her part, and there's nothing wrong with that.
As long
right?
as she was
Morally
willing.
speaking, like, it's like, you know, whatever. It's, you need money for college or whatever. You know, you do what you got to do. Yeah, the guy, right, yeah.
He should have just, like, let them stay and then said, I want to have sex with you if you would be willing.
Right. Or just like, look, we're all
Romanticize
just
her.
lonely.
Make her feel wanted.
We're strangers in the night.
Yeah.
Give him a meal first.
Right.
How about that? Give him a meal. She smells like old milk.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even
That part, we didn't even talk about that. They were sitting in milk for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a good odor. Give him a bath and clothes
she had
and food.
one by then.
Who?
By the time she went to see him.
Weren't they still in their handmaid clothes?
Janine changed, I think. I don't know.
Oh, no, Janine. That's fine. But I'm saying, like, when he said, like, he was going to make June blow him before she could even get food or clothes.
Right.
She had to smell so bad.
You'd think so.
Rotten milk is not a good, it's not a turn on for most people.
No.
I don't think. All right. Well, Steven, I wonder what will happen to him. I hope, I assume he's going to have to die. Steven's not going to make it long, I don't think. But hopefully we'll find out more in episode 5 coming soon.
Yay.
And we'll be back to podcast about that. If there's anything we missed, if you haven't yet entered the yearbook challenge, a quick refresher on that. Jennifer's going to look for a yearbook photo. Hopefully by the time you hear this, she has found it. She's going to tweet her yearbook photo, which will look very pretty, if not a bit, 90s hair or whatever, but she's a hottie. And if we can get at least 10 listeners to submit their yearbook photos for a listener collage, a Pot of Thrones collage, you guys can see my senior year of high school yearbook photo.
Now,
oh God, I can't believe I'm saying that.
Some of our listeners hopefully have watched John Oliver, and his yearbook photo is there, I think, or at least he was just young.
Like the logo for his show for a while. Yeah.
He was super young. And I got to tell you,
it's at least that good.
At least that good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So there you have it, people. Don't forget how to contact us with yearbook photos or anything else. You can find me, Jeff at potofthrones.com or at Pot of Thrones on Twitter.
Jennifer at potofthrones.com or at Kid Free Weekend on Twitter.
You can always look us up on Facebook.
Twitter.
Facebook is also called The Kid Free Weekend, which we should probably change. We'll get around to it one of these days. And anything else, look in the show notes. Until next time.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Jeff. Steven. Fuck you, Steven. That's all I'm going to say. Just fuck you, Steven. Bad guy.